So busy trying to validate me and answering critics that all of a sudden my message got lost. My message was not clear because I was so busy every day reading the comments and then trying to validate myself to everyone. When I stopped being so emotional on my channel and I start seeing my channel as my platform, my home, my goal that I want in my life, my path that I want to share with all of you, all of a sudden it became clear to everyone. It became clear as to what they were going to see on my channel, what I am about. My mission became clear. Once I made that change and stayed committed to it, I've been committed to it for quite a while now, things started to drastically change. People understood what I was trying to say because I wasn't always on there trying to justify myself. I decided to gain a backbone. I stopped reacting emotionally and started acting intentionally on my message to everyone, and that is to live happily under the poverty line, or to live happily with not having everything that you think that you need. When I stopped letting my emotions ruin and just stopped using my emotions to rule my channel, all of a sudden the mission became clear. And then I became clear. No more doubting in my head. No more, double thinking or double talking, because I became very set on my own path and very set on my own intentions. And that came out into my videos. And I stopped being so emotional. Now, I wish I would have learned this lesson so long ago. I think if I would have learned this, so much would have changed. But with my background, with the way I was raised, with the way my own personality is, it probably would have been impossible for me to not go through this journey. It is not the destination that matters. It's the actual journey of all of it. And I learned so much through it. And even though a lot of you who watch this video don't have a YouTube channel, I think you can still gain something from it, because I think so many times when we are too emotional, we take things too much at heart, then we are constantly becoming double-minded. And double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And that means in everything in life. I wish I was more assertive growing up. I wish I was more assertive as a young woman. I wish I was more assertive in things. Take, for instance, I would love something, I enjoyed it, but if somebody said something negative about it, all of a sudden I didn't like it anymore. And that would happen on my YouTube channel all the time. Somebody would say something negative about a video that I absolutely loved, and I thought it was an amazing video. But because they said something negative about it, all of a sudden I was double-minded. And then of course I would make reaction videos where I had to get on the camera and tell all of you. And simply, matter of fact, you just didn't care. You didn't care what somebody had to say about me. You didn't care what somebody said negative, because you loved me for me. And when I stopped being emotional and I stopped letting people dictate how I feel about my life and dictate what words I can use, what words I can't use, one, those people left. Two, all of a sudden they realize, oh, they can't get to me anymore. They don't even care about it anymore. And three, I learned to be happy in the skin that I am in. And I've learned to just say, you know what I think is worth something. It may not be the same what everybody thinks, but what I think, has value to it. What we have in our life as our opinions has value. All of us, we have value in our opinions. And if somebody doesn't believe with what you have to say, that doesn't mean that you don't have value in your opinion. That just means it's not made for everyone. Let's face it, we're not liked by everyone. And it's okay. In fact, it's good to be disliked by some people. You don't want to be wishy-washy and have everybody like you. You don't want to be a politician that just gives the answers to whoever they're talking to. You want to be yourself. And when I stopped being emotional on my channel, I started showing my true self. And you know what? People liked me even more. And that was a big change that I have felt. I feel every single day that being authentic and being yourself It wasn't that I wasn't the real me before. It was just I was so bombarded with trying to make people happy that I just became so flustered and so frustrated that I lost my way. I lost my mission. I lost my voice. I cared so much about every comment. Then what happened was I delayed clarity. I didn't have clarity in my own videos. They were just here and there and everywhere. My videos took on this whole new, road. Like 1 minute I was talking about this, 1 minute I was talking about that, because I allowed the comments to mutter my mission. The opinions of people, what happened was it diluted my confidence. No longer was I confident in that video or confident in what I had to say and confident about all of these things because somebody didn't agree with me. And I thought, well, who am I? Who am I? Who am I to know anything? And that's just wrong, because we all have an opinion and mine matters just as much as somebody else's does. But for years, I felt like theirs mattered more than mine. I took the back seat and I let other people rule everything that I was doing, and it showed on my YouTube channel. All of a sudden, I guess after these years of being postmenopausal, I decided to flourish and to shine and to share my feelings about my life and not be so muddled by what other people had to say. Awareness creates change. When I became aware of this, and I started last year already, really it did. The grounding of everything started last year, but it really kicked into gear this year. When you are aware of things, it makes changes, and it made so many changes in my life that now I can't even imagine allowing somebody's negative comment to destroy my day and for me to have to always respond to it. Late lessons still pay off. Like I tell you before in the video, I wish I would have learned this before, but it's in the journey, not the destination. And so by learning these things now, maybe I can tell you right now, if you like that dress and you want to wear it, but somebody says something mean about it, don't put that dress away or throw it away. You still wear it because it's something you enjoy. If you enjoy certain things in life and somebody has something negative to say about it, don't let that dictate how you feel about your life. Enjoy the things that you love. Don't let somebody say that you're too fat, you're too thin, your hair is thinning, you have too many wrinkles. Don't let anybody say these things to you and make you feel pressured into trying to change your looks or trying to change yourself for anyone. It's not worth it. Because once you make that change, they won't fuss about that, but they'll fuss about something else. Trust me, I've been there. I've done it for years. My whole life revolved around what other people thought of me, and I was constantly trying to change, and it was exhausting to the point where I was no longer the person I thought I was. And so it's just so absolutely amazing how when you can become double-minded and then you become afraid to share your life. And I see that so much now in social media. People have become silenced because they're afraid of the lashback of people. And it's become to a point where the squeaky wheel always gets the most attention. And I think that we can all sit down at the table, share our thoughts with one another, and then we can have this dialogue with one another about each of our feelings. I shared their feelings. I shared how I think that was ridiculous. And then I shared, my feelings. And so maybe somebody could share something else that would make me think even more. But I think boundaries create peace. And I didn't have boundaries. I had no boundaries. I let people do whatever they want, run all over me, let everything, let them do whatever they wanted. And then I was an emotional wreck. I think peace creates consistency. So when I am at peace in my life, and every single day you see the same topics, you see the same type of journey that I am going on, and that created consistency. And then I started seeing the results because I was consistent. And so this is what I'm learning about my own personal life and about YouTube and the mistakes that I have made. Now, yes, my emotional being is what made me who I am. I still care about people deeply, and I still love people. I love all kinds of people. I can really communicate with all kinds of people, people that are not from my background. And I think I can do that without allowing their footprint to be on me as far as the negative. You know, just brush yourself off and start a brand new day. I think a lot of times people will see other people as emotional as being weak. In fact, it's the opposite. Those of us that are highly emotional are probably extremely strong and full of courage. And that is why we get picked on so often, because people think that we're weak, but we're strong. And having high emotions and being extremely emotional has its benefits and also has some really big setbacks. And the benefit of it is we feel people's pain more than anybody else. We feel their pain, but we have to have that boundary where we can feel that pain, but we don't take it upon ourselves to the point then that we have so much of that pain that we can't even function as a human being. And so this is something I learned, and I'm really excited about my channel and where it's leading me and where it's taking me. And people are slowly finding my channel, and they're finding my voice, and they're finding that I am set on this. This is exactly where I wanted to be. I just didn't know how to get there. I didn't know how to go through all of these feelings and all of these things. I was so sheltered. And then, of course, YouTube is probably the biggest platform you could ever almost be on, other than maybe being a politician, that you are going to get a lot of feedback. And some of it is going to be very hard to stomach. But I think now, at this stage in my life, I think another thing is people think I'm younger than I am. You know, I talk about Social Security, which my husband is applying for. And, you know, they keep saying, oh, well, you're in your 30s. And I'm like, no, people, I'm a lot older than what maybe I appear, just because of my demeanor, you know, just the way I, you know, conduct myself. And so, you know, a lot of new people will be like, well, you're only in your 30s. Why are you talking about this? And I no longer try to give a whole thing. Oh, I'm married 38 years. I'm 56 years old. I don't even say anything anymore. I just say, yeah, because you can spend 2 hours every day trying to explain to people everything about your life. And you know what? At the end of the day, they don't really care. And it just takes so much of your energy. Thanks again for watching today's video. And I can't wait to share with you tomorrow what we're doing and talking about, because it's all kinds of subjects on that's really relatable to almost everyone. We're talking anywhere from Social Security, talking anywhere from, you know, low income, you know, how are we navigating this world that we're living in? Because I don't see it getting any better, but yet I see our lives becoming better only because I have that approach to life that is very positive. And by your feedback, a lot of you are on this journey with me, and you're finding maybe life isn't quite as bad as you thought it would be. And you're realizing that together we can learn these things and we can go through this all together and become better because of it. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys in the next one. I got a lot of work to do. We finally have the sun. We finally have a little bit warmer temperatures, and we finally can melt some of this snow.